Hiya, welcome to Abby's Book Reviews. This is the August wrap-up. How the flip are we at the end of August? Okay, so there are 6 books for this month, and yeah, let's get through them. So first up is, just because it's different to the others, Song of the Current by Sarah Tolska. Oh my gosh, this is so good. If you want pirates but in a different way, go read it. Although I am now dying for the second book, so maybe wait until closer to release of the second one, or not. Go for it. Yeah, it is so good. It's about this girl whose entire family on her dad's side have been wherrymen, which is boat people on the river, shipping cargo up and down, and she's never had the call from the river god until she gets this dangerous cargo that her father would refuse to take, and she decides to take it, and it leads to this big adventure and her finding out kind of what her true calling is, which is just so cool. And yeah, female, kick-ass, oh my gosh, a little bit of a love interest, maybe. But yeah, oh my gosh, pirates, strong female leads, adventure, what else do you want? Go pick this one up. The rest of my pile of books are all retellings, because I decided August was a retelling month. I managed to get through 5, which I'm pretty proud of. It is mostly because one of them was unfortunately quite slow for me. But yeah, anyway. So first up is A Whole New World by Liz Braswell, and it is a take on Aladdin, and what if Aladdin had never found the lamp, although that is not quite true. So he got the lamp but gave it to Jafar at the cave opening, and basically Jafar takes over Agrabah, and Aladdin comes back eventually to find his city in turmoil and helps a revolution, pretty much. Yeah, I actually really enjoyed it because it's kind of the end of Aladdin when Jafar gets all evil, but almost straight away, which was just so cool. And having it quite close to the film actually made, I think, it better, if that makes any sense at all. I kind of decided to read all 3 almost in a row, which I think I shouldn't have done. Anyway, so that's the first one. The second one is Once Upon a Dream, also by Liz Braswell. It's what if Sleeping Beauty never woke up. Pretty much, the prince goes to kiss her and he falls asleep and ends up in her dream. I'm not sure if that's spoilery. I don't think it is. It's explained pretty early on. But yeah, it's basically her trying to get out of the dream, I suppose. I found, because it was so far from the film and I was expecting something more like A Whole New World, that I found it really slow and frustrating. And I don't know, I hate criticising books, but it just didn't flow in the same way, and I wasn't as invested in it, which is so frustrating because the first one was amazing. So yeah, that's Once Upon a Dream. And then I had to take a break from it because I didn't want to read the last one straight away and be as disappointed, I suppose is the right phrasing. But yeah, it was As Old as Time, also by Liz Braswell, and it's what if Belle's mother cursed the beast? What if Belle's mother was the enchantress and she cursed him? So I don't know if it's because I was basing it on the other 2. It's kind of following the story of the film, but it's backstory, and it alternates, which is a little frustrating to start with until you get into the swing of things. But it's a chapter of Maurice when he's young and he's falling in love with Belle's mother, and then it switches back to Belle and the film, and then it goes to Maurice as a young man, and it just alternates, and then it gets to a point where it doesn't alternate anymore, and they've kind of come together, and then they go as one, and you get a couple of different points of view in the present, like towards the end. But oh my gosh, this was so good, and I totally wasn't expecting it, having read the first two. I did find it confusing to start with because of the changes between time and the one bit sticking so close to film and then the other bit of being like completely made up of what happened before. But I feel like it made it a better book for it, which is really weird. But yeah, so I really enjoyed this one. So if you want a retelling of Beauty and the Beast that's close to the film, like that was not complete retelling, I really enjoyed it. One of the girls at work is now going to try and find all 3 of these books because she's seen me reading them and she's like, oh my gosh, how did you have to read those? And then comes the one I took as a break in the middle, which is Dark Breaks the Dawn by Sarah B. Larson. And oh my gosh. So I've only watched Swan Lake not even a handful of times when I was younger. It was only ever in my cousin's house in Canada that I would watch it. So I've only seen it a few times and can't really remember what happens. But it is a retelling on Swan Lake. But kind of don't go into it thinking it's a retelling of Swan Lake. It is a fight of good versus evil, light versus dark, and it's such a cool new take on it. And there is a love interest, and there is another book coming. I need it now. It's not fair. Why do we have to wait for books? I know authors have to like write books and get them edited and stuff, but can they not all be released at once? Oh my gosh, I need the next book like yesterday. While I was reading it, I actually may have compared it to A Court of Thorns and Roses. And I think I would actually stand with that. I said that about halfway through. I wonder if it's that kind of level of a book. And I actually think it is, like, because it's not A Court of Thorns and Roses, it's Dark Breaks the Dawn. But it is that level of book, and I would love loads of people to go read this book. It is so good, and I cannot wait for the next one. I think it's only a duology, which does mean I don't have to wait for a third one. Go read it if you are interested in a like light versus dark, magic, love interest, fighting, plotting, that kind of thing, and a little bit of Swan Lake thrown in. Okay, and my final book for this month is another retelling, and I have all of this author's books so far, not the graphic novel that has come out because I want to read the series first, if you can guess which author I'm talking about. But I decided I didn't have enough time before my autumn book bingo to read the whole series, so I chose her standalone book to read. And it is just making me want to read her series even more. But I think I have had enough of retellings for the time being. And I might pick them back up in the winter. Because even though I thought they were kind of like a summery thing, I think they could be something to get you through the long dark nights of winter. But then I do like full on, new fantasy for that as well. So we'll see what I do. But anyway, on to the book, and it is Heartless by Marissa Meyer. And the series I was talking about, obviously, is the Lunar Chronicles, which I just haven't read yet. And oh my giddy aunt, Heartless is amazing. I stupidly looked at the final paragraph when I was a few chapters in, because I have heard everybody go about how it breaks their heart and about, you'll be a weeping mess and everything like that. And because I read the last paragraph so early on, I didn't get quite like that because I knew what was coming. I think if I hadn't have read it and I didn't know what was coming, I would have been a bawling mess at work yesterday when I finished it. And oh my gosh, like, love intrigue. It's kind of a love triangle, but it's really not. It's like a one-sided love triangle. And like the plots and the time Marissa must have taken to like fit everything together and the massive nods she played to Lewis Carroll's Alice in Wonderland to make everything fit as a prequel. Oh my gosh, I think Lewis Carroll would be so proud of this book. I think he would love it, and I think he would be so happy with Queen of Hearts' origin story that is Heartless. I kind of now wish there was a book in between Heartless and Alice in Wonderland, but at the same time, oh my gosh. And I loved reading the end bit about the raven that's in it and how his lines are taken and twisted from The Raven by Edgar Allan Poe. Oh my gosh, I totally didn't notice that, and it's mostly probably because I haven't read The Raven, but I now so want to go read it. And oh my gosh, I could probably gush about this book all day, possibly because it's my newest read, but it is so good, and I did a lot of tabbing of just chapters rather than lines because the chapters are so good. Like almost every time Jest is there, I'm like tab, 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 tab. So yeah, Jest may have to be my new book boyfriend. Go read it. So yeah, that is my 6 books for August. I'm not too sure what else I can say. I am going to do a video for tomorrow that is on the autumn book bingo I'm taking part in. It did take me a few days to work out my TBR, and my TBR is 46 books out of 49 categories. So only 3 of them go into double categories, which seems a lot of books, and I've worked out there are 91 days in autumn, so that puts me at just under 2 days per book. I want to cry now. So wish me luck with that, and I will talk more about it with you tomorrow. I don't know if I'll show you all 46 books I'm planning on doing, but yeah, I am challenging myself in a completely different way, and I am hoping I can pull it off. So I don't exactly have a monthly TBR, but yeah, so be warned, my wrap-ups for the next few months might be quite big. I apologise in advance. Okay, and also if you've noticed, my YALC haul videos have been going up slowly. I really apologise, they're so late. I had to edit it into 4 parts. I totally didn't mean for that to happen, but it became a very, very, very long video. So, hope you enjoy those ones. Totally get if you don't watch them if you are interested. But yeah, see you soon and enjoy the book you're reading.